And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the WardiTV Monday, number 13. I'm, of course, your VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. To your weekly dose of open StarCraft, puppy. Exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is stacked, the bracket is live, the bracket is massive and raring to go, Pappy. We're jumping into the first round, into round of 32, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the most honorable of honorables. We have the South Korean Terran representing Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Let us go. We have our Terran versus Protoss. We have our TVP. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Oh my god, his NightMare wants that SCV and he will be denied. Or will he? Oh, the probe does rotate back around, but it's going to be zoned away. HonMonO, he will defend. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we embrace our TVP. Oh my god. The spray is run down. The cheese has been laid. Let's go. Cheese has been thrown to the floor. Let's go, baby. Let's go. As we embrace Amygdala. Now, of course, if you maybe haven't tuned into the broadcast before, we have casted HonMonO many a time over the past, well, like 5 years. Jesus Christ, we've been casting a lot of HonMonO. And HonMonO, he is... Oh, as the probe does turn back on, gets the SCV. Does take down the SCV, does delay the depot as well. Very nice damage here by NightMare. This is more than what should have happened, and from here should get the hell out of here and try to avoid that Reaper. But HonMonO, he's very aggressive. He's very aggressive. He's very all-in, especially in this matchup. 1 base all-in, 2 base all-in. Pull the boys, always pull the boys. Like, he's just hyper-aggressive, specifically in TvP. He does macro from time to time, but it's a very rare sight. Very rare sight to see him macro. You know, maybe once, like every 2 weeks or something. So very rarely does he macro against Protoss, specifically against Protoss. Against Zerg, he is more prone to macroing, same with Terran as well, but specifically in this matchup in TvP, HonMonO, he is an animal. He is an animal, and he has a reputation as well, and I'm sure NightMare is fully aware that HonMonO is going to be in his face, but now HonMonO, he's looking for that probe, trying to hunt it down. NightMare did race back home, did not stick around, so HonMonO, he's still looking for something that doesn't quite exist, did at least race back home, and NightMare will keep that probe safe and sound. We'll keep it alive. Behind this is going to be a Stargate opener. Bold move going to be a Stargate opener here out of NightMare. Now, Stargate play can lead you into the mid-game quite well. It can shut down drop play. It can pick away at the economy, can harass, of course. But the downside is that you are vulnerable to early game aggression. You know, against a mass bio army, lifting 1 marine at a time doesn't really help much, right? Doesn't really help much here. It can struggle, definitely, and that's why it's a bold move for NightMare to embrace something like a Stargate. So, very bold move. We'll see if he can pull it off. As Reaper dives into the main, and HonMonO, he confirms. He confirms the Stargate. He's fully aware of what's going on. And we'll see what he goes for. He's going for, ooh, Magfield accelerators. Okay, double factory mass cyclone out of HonMonO. And this is going to be ideal against Stargate play. Oh, my apologies. Sorry. I assumed it was going to be Stargate Phoenix, so this makes more sense. Okay, it's going to be Stargate into Oracle. The Oracle can get across the map, can scout, can harass, and this should switch into ground toss. Speaking of ground toss, there it is. Twilight Council has been placed, and we are switching to a ground-based composition instead. Meanwhile, HonMonO, he's embracing the new old Cyclone. For those that are curious, in the latest patch, the Cyclone was reverted to a previous game state from 2 patches ago, or 3 patches ago at this point. So the Cyclone is now back to its original form from like 2022, even 2023. You have Magfield accelerators. You require a tech lab to make the Cyclone. Cyclone has extended range, more so than normal. Does even more DPS as well. It's beefy. It does it all. So massing Cyclone is more viable now against Protoss and against Zerg. It's what things were in the past. It's kind of weird that we kind of reverted it, considering that we all agree that it was a problem, and we all agree that it probably wasn't healthy for the game. But you know what? We're back. We're back to the old Cyclone, and I'm sure it's going to be patched again at some point and changed again. And yes, the Cyclone has gone through many iterations over the past lifespan of StarCraft. Regardless, Cyclones are amassing. Oracle dips in, does get eyes on the factories. Nice scan here. Will not get the Oracle. We'll be able to get away. does escape, and HonMonO will soon now move out across the map. Now he has been scattered. The massive factory is revealed. Speaking of, we have a third, soon to be fourth factory on the way, and again, HonMonO, he's just going mass cycling. It's just going to be mass cycling here at HonMonO. Back at home, we do see NightMare, he's expanded, taking a third base. He is working on Blink, but because of the Stargate opener, Blink is delayed. Blink is later than usual because of that Stargate. Ooh, as we do take another stasis to the face. Buying time, very important here. Time is being bought. We are buying time here for shield batteries, for extra warp pins as well. Wouldn't mind does borrow. If you're in the chat, share my pap, yeah, share my. Good to see you, papi. A couple of boys are being pulled to repair. Nicely done. Widowmine is revealed, has to back up. Ooh, Widowmine will go down. But the rest of the Cyclones have arrived. Look-ons, they do get on top of the Stalkers. Oh my god, so many Stalkers go down. That's 3-4 Stalkers falling. And NightMare, he's in trouble. And again, there's no shield battery. No shield battery to support. NightMare not taking this seriously. Nice control at HonMonO. He does pull away in time. The stasis trap is set, is revealed, and HonMonO, he will back up for now. He retreats. Oh! Getting more lock-ons. Blink is done. Lock-ons get broken. Nice control here from both players. Stalkers get saved. Likewise, so do the Cyclones. But the Cyclones, they need time to repair. They have to back off. And NightMare holds. Whew. Does hold on. I was very concerned with the lack of shield battery. I mean, a lot of Stalkers were going down. Looking at the trades, that was 4 Stalkers with 2 Cyclones. Likewise, 3 of those went down as well. So that was a better trade for HonMonO. But now NightMare has gained map control, and HonMonO has to get the hell out of here. And he has to repair. Does have to repair. Race is back. NightMare moving out. Charge is going to be on the way for NightMare. It's doubling down on a heavy gateway composition into a Dark Shrine as well. And again, this is what you want. You want Charge ults specifically against Cyclones. The reason for this, Charge ults are cheap. Zelts are very cheap. Likewise, they're expendable. And they also collapse and get on top of those Cyclones as well. Speaking of, one Cyclone is down. Cyclone does fall. A couple of boys are being pulled. Again, these Cyclones are vulnerable. They're so low. Oh, but the lock-ons are brutal. And oh my god, they stay within range of the lock-on. That's crazy, despite the blink. The vision is insane. Meanwhile, we do have a 6-gate setup here. We do see NightMare responding in kind with aggression. And he wants to stop HonMonO before that Cyclone count gets out of control. Before it really builds up, he wants to focus him down. HonMonO force back. Again, the goal here for NightMare is to just chip away at that Cyclone count and make sure it does not hit critical mass. Because we know what happens when it hits critical mass. We aim it. You can see NightMare just in HonMonO's face, warps in with extra zealots, going for the main. Stalkers are revealed, going to be distracting HonMonO. HonMonO, he does pull the poison repair. Oh, one Cyclone does fall. Gets 1, gets 2. Oh my god, 2 Cyclones for 4 Stalkers. At the same time, dropping to the main base, HonMonO, he's out of position. And NightMare, he's pulling HonMonO apart. Havoc in the main, going for the turrets. DT's warping in as well, shutting down the 3rd CC. Prism will fall. HonMonO will clean this up. At the same time, Stalkers, they do strike the natural. And again, HonMonO just cannot keep up. Not with this kind of army. I mean, Cyclones are fast, that is true, but the attention of HonMonO, that's what's being really hit here. It's the attention. Oh my god, the look. Jesus Christ, that is insane. Look at that. 1 lock-in is all it takes, and almost every single Stalker goes down. 1 Stalker escapes. That was 15 Stalkers. 16 Stalkers go down in the blink of an eye. That's crazy. But HonMonO's economy, his 3rd base was delayed. He lost 16 SCVs. That's what matters right now. This is lack of economy, lack of sustainability. He's down to 36 SCVs. Takes down the 4th, gets a kill. Wants to keep on pushing. Well, Zelto, they do a great job here tanking. Baiting out those lock-ons. Zelts go down there. Yeah, Zelts go down. And HonMonO just keeps chasing this down. Oh my god, it is insane just how quickly Stalkers melt. Yeah, just what's crazy is that the Stalkers, they blink away, but they're still within range of the lock-on. So the lock-on actually doesn't get broken. Like, that's what's crazy. The lock-ons are not broken, at least not when they engage close by. Cyclone's getting into the mineral line. Oh, have to respect the Stalkers though. There we go. Finally, NightMare does hold on. Behind this, HonMonO is still trying to recover economically. Still rebuilding those SCVs. And he's working on that 3rd. Whew. Okay, NightMare, he weathered the storm. Did lose a lot of Stalkers in the process, but he does maintain his worker count. He's still on 61 probes, getting a 4th expansion towards the south. Likewise, rotating between the northern and southern bases is quite difficult and quite awkward on Amygdala just because the center rocks, just because of the terrain. So HonMonO, he races back home. Throwing down more factories. Let's go. More factories are being thrown down. HonMonO is going Widow Mine, or Cyclone Widow Mine. Widow Mines are being built up as well. As HonMonO is gas starved. Is gas starved at this point. Does need extra gases, does need an extra base. Now moving out. Third base is revealed. NightMare double expanding, getting his 4th and his 5th base. With this, NightMare will have the greater economy and ideally will be able to build up towards Mass Zealot Immortal. Charger Immortal is going to be the composition of choice. The way this dynamic works, of course, Immortals, they just chunk away at those Cyclones, and Zealots, ideally, they're the ones that tank those Revelation. Those Lock-ons. They want to tank those Lock-ons for everything else. NightMare knocking down those rocks, getting ready to move out. He's getting ready. 4th base, getting saturated. HonMonO is aware. Also sees the army is missing. It's attempting to set up with sensor towers, turrets as well. I mean, he's aware that our Templar is trying to prepare. And in this lull period here, I do want to favor NightMare just because of his economy, right? Just because his economy is looking solid, he has more and more time to build up a greater army. And meanwhile, HonMonO, of course, Mass Cyclone. It's just, it's just pure Cyclone, baby. Let's go. That's all we be. HonMonO, he does engage. Yeah, mass lock-ons on the Stalkers. Once again, lock-ons are not broken. Oh my god. That is always brutal to see. Stalkers, they can't break out. Meanwhile, charge slots here towards the natural. Ideally, that's what the Widow Mines are for. Nice bait here by NightMare. Oh my god, the blinks! He's a fast boy. Does avoid the Widow Mine. But it still has to respect the main army, though. As HonMonO, who wants to chase him down. The lock-ons, hiding against the Immortal, embedding the army into those Widow Mines, getting out those charge slots, takes out an Immortal. Immortal goes down. Well, that's that Cyclone cannon still has not hit critical mass. Do you see HonMonO making 4 Cyclones at a time? Matchup going up. Trading a Zealot for a Cyclone. Not a bad trade here for NightMare. Leading out more Zealots. At the same time, Zealot run right towards the natural. HonMonO out of positioning responds with everything. And that means his third base is exposed. HonMonO has to respond. Matchup's going up on the sentries. Oof. Yeah, and again, NightMare with a higher army supply should be able to pull them apart. Going for the CC. Oh my god, gets a kill. Gets to kill the command center, 18 SCVs. Now we do see HonMonO responding, so we see him rotating, but the damage has been done. Ooh, can he get on top of those Immortals though? But the Immortals, they take a lot of damage. 1 and 2 of them go down. 3 of them, oh, the entire army just melts. Jesus, oh my god. You can see that once HonMonO can actually take a fight, he will completely shut down the Mass Immortal Stalker. It's not even close. But his economy is what's hurting, and over time, as 2 more Immortals go down, but over time, NightMare can outscale HonMonO. Stasis traps go off, buying more time. This is ideal for NightMare. Matchup's going up. Zealots towards the natural once again. It's one of those things with NightMare, he's having a hard time winning a head-on fight, but it's not about the head-on fights, it's about the run-bys, the counterattacks, the economy. The third base went down earlier, more SCVs, 6 more workers go down. GG, well played, and NightMare will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A very, very intense game 1 there. You got to see the power of the Cyclone and how they just really wreaked havoc on that charged Immortal Stalker base composition time and time again. We had more efficient trades by HonMonO, but what was his bane, or what did bring him down, was the counterattacks, like the Prism into the main, the Zealot Rise into the natural, the main army sneaking up on the third, the non-stop multi-prong aggression. I mean, that's what NightMare's best at. We've seen NightMare even pull Clever parts. NightMare is a very fast player, and with that, he was able to, yeah, just pull HonMonO left and right and break him in the end. GG. GG, well played. Did pull him apart, and now we're getting into game number 2. Oh my god, where did I go? Un momento. Un momento, papi, un momento. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we're back. We are back. We're getting ready for game number 2. It's going to be on Abyssal Reef. Ooh, Abyssal Reef, a much larger map, much more defendable bases as well. If HonMonO were to go for something like his more traditional forms of all-in, I do think that they're going to struggle on Abyssal Reef. So I'll be honest, we might see HonMonO go Mass Cyclone again. This might actually be a better map for Mass Cyclone, unironically, especially if, again, remember, HonMonO, what he struggled with was defending. And on a larger map with more defendable bases, I mean, now he can more freely go Mass Cyclone. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, leading the series 1-0, representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Team Hyper 1, down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back and force the ace match. It is HonMonO, the most honorable of honorables. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be settling in. Abuses broken unit. I mean, if you're referring to the bug plaguing the Cyclone, that has been fixed. That was fixed quite some time ago, and it never did impact any tournaments as we were using mods. But if you're referring to the balance of the game, I mean, yeah, it is one of those things where it's kind of, I'm not necessarily in agreement with the idea of reverting the Cyclone to the previous form, just because it was patched out for a reason, right? Like, it was not something that people necessarily felt like was healthy for the game, but now it's back, and we'll see how long it stays. Like, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets patched again, like next patch, like like if the Cyclone gets changed once again. Like, that would not surprise me. See, this is where you revert it again, and then it becomes the old Cyclone. That's what we just keep regressing, back. Aye. So now it is going to be a Gate Expand, or Gate Cyber Expand out of NightMare, standard opener. Meanwhile, HonMonO back at home is going to be opening up Double Gas into a faster factory, and I would not be surprised if he goes into Mass Cyclone. I do think that is, again, more viable on Abyssal Reef. I do think it's actually stronger on Abyssal Reef as well. I mean, it depends on what your approach is, really, because on the one hand, I do think that HonMonO, he should have a much stronger economy coming into this, which means he can maintain his Cyclones in a longer game state. At the same time, you could argue that potentially HonMonO doesn't want the game to go on too long, but he wants to try to snowball out of control early on instead. We'll see. For now, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener here out of NightMare. Twilight Council in the main, working towards, I would imagine, Blink. I would imagine, technically this could be a DT based opener, and even though I want to say that DT openers are very much so niche, they are, we have been seeing more and more of them over the past couple of weeks. It's a bit of an opener that has kind of risen in popularity once again. I don't know why, but it has. Meanwhile, depth is shaded across the map. HonMonO going to be responding. And back at home it is, thankfully, Blink. Okay, this is going to be Blink here from NightMare. The question becomes, how many gateways? 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker? On a map like Abyssal Reef, I would not be opposed to 2-gate Blink into a faster third, but our eyes are going to be on NightMare, as HonMonO did commit into additional Reaper Hellion into a 3-racks follow-up. Okay, very aggressive here from HonMonO, and this is more what we expect from HonMonO. This is, the HonMonO that we saw before the patch, before the temptation of going Mass Cyclone. Meanwhile, nice home position micro here from NightMare. Takes down a Reaper, takes down a Hellion. And he will shut this down. Very nice defense. And this is why aggression on the Abyss Reef can be so difficult. The ramp is so narrow, the choke point is brutal, and HonMonO is forced back. HonMonO gets forced back. NightMare, he defends well. And behind this, HonMonO is building up towards a mass bio-tank-based army. And I would not be surprised if he does commit into a 2-base all-in from here. Again, that's just kind of what HonMonO is known for. I say I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not too fond of this idea. I mean, we just saw it. And again, like, on Abyssal Reef, you're very much so well defended here on 2 and 3 bases. It can be quite difficult to really pull off more aggressive play. So we'll see if HonMonO commits. For now, going for a tank drop across the map. It's a tank and 2 Marines towards the natural. There is a position here where you can actually hit the mineral line from the other side of the cliff face. So yeah, HonMonO will abuse this. And he is going for the pylon first and then can go for the mineral line. There it is. And probes are going down. So this is, I guess, a feature of Abyssal Reef is you can hit the mineral line. We'll get the hell out of here. So he gets 2 probes, gets away. We do see NightMare trying to hunt him down, but he barely will not find him. Oh, he will have another blink. He has another blink available, and he does miss the medevac. Whew. Just barely will miss it. HonMonO, he does double back. Headed across the map. And NightMare is still looking for that drop. Last doesn't find it. Meanwhile, how many gateways? 4. Oh my god, 4-gate blink. Let's go. The tank is across the map. That means that it's not at home to defend. And that means that the main base is vulnerable. We do have a second tank, thankfully. 1 at the natural, 1 in between the bases. Observer does confirm, and he's going for Stim. NightMare, he does dive on Stim. Likewise, diving into the tank. Stim is saved. Tank doesn't go down. Oh, it does. Picks up the tank on low ground. Nice pickup. Prism has arrived. NightMare, he can reinforce. Going for the SCVs. Getting 5 SCVs so far. I say 5, getting up to 9. And meanwhile, the Stalkers, they dive back into the main. Marines are in position. HonMonO, he's holding. Scans for the Observer. We'll bring it down. Oof. Bit of miscontrol there by NightMare. 1 Stalker will fall. But overall, this is good damage. 9 SCVs. Boys off the mineral line. And the tank. Meanwhile, across the map, the tank was dealt with. There's only 1 tank left. And again, HonMonO is in a lot of trouble here. His upgrades are finishing up, which means he can punish a blink. Can punish NightMare. NightMare back at home, going to be expanding. He's going for the tank. Tank is exposed. The tank goes down. No bunker. No bunker. The Marauder's getting focused down as well. Boys are going to be pulled. So far, NightMare, he's trading well. Prism barely survives. Does pull away. And there's barely an army here. There's 2 Marines and 1 Marauder. Down to 1. GG and NightMare. He will overwhelm. And it will take the series 2-0, taking down HonMonO. GG. Whew. GG, well played, NightMare. He will claim the series, will advance on to the round of 16. Congratulations here. Congratulations, NightMare. He will take it. And that means NightMare, he will soon have his next opponent. We're here to find out who exactly that is. Oh, just realized NightMare's race wasn't showing. Bam. There we go. And let's switch our scenes over and catch up on the brackets. Un momento. I say catch up with the bracket. We already have our next series. Okay, exclamation mark B in the chat. So if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourself.